Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in last week. This is Blunt Thoughts, the podcast. This is episode 2, and we're going to get right into it. So we're going to talk about conspiracy theories, but not only conspiracy theories. We're going to talk about different conspiracy theories, and I have questions for a lot of you who try to shun conspiracy theories. So there was a video released weeks ago called The Plandemic, okay? And I don't want to get her name wrong. Judy Mikovits did an interview exposing pretty much the World Health Organization, Dr. Fauci, and just the whole corrupt pharmaceutical industry. And I have never seen anyone go out their way to try to shut down and censor a video. Like on my I shared it on Facebook, and like it's like a filter on it saying like, yeah, if you want to watch this video, we're just warning you, it has false content, like it flags your video. And what happened was Judy Mikovits used to work for the pharmaceutical industry, and she exposed everything. And now everyone is going out their way to try to shut the conspiracy down and say it's not true, and everyone's trying to poke holes in it, and everyone's trying to tell us why Judy Mikovits isn't qualified to speak. Well, let's look at it from a different angle. Instead of poking holes in Judy Mikovits herself and trying to say she's not valid and try to say the information she's given shouldn't be taken seriously because who she is, let's actually look at what she said and let's line it up to what's going on. So in the video, she said that there's different laws and patents passed that allow people like Bill Gates to have a hand in the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry and making vaccines and stuff like that. And just to prove that, Governor Cuomo put on Twitter, I'm gonna pull it up right here. Governor Cuomo said, as we prepare to reopen, we have the opportunity to reimagine and build back our education system better. We will work with the Gates Foundation and develop a blueprint to do this. Now, first question I have is, why are we working with Bill Gates with anything pharmaceutical, medical? Like, shouldn't he be working on the next generation of Xboxes and computers? Like, no one voted for Bill Gates, but yet Governor Cuomo is going to work with Bill Gates to try to reimagine the education system. You know what that means? Kids. You know what that means? They're going to try to vaccinate the kids to go to school, and it's just like Judy Mikovits in the video was pretty much exposing the shady side of the pharmaceutical industry. And it works like this: they create the problem and they create the solution. So anyway, what that means is that COVID-19 was a man-made. They've been playing with it. You know what I mean? This is not no natural disease that came from a bat. They made it, okay? They gave it to us, and now we have to pay for the medicine to fix it, to fix us. You know what I mean? And one thing about people is that, like, when you do shut down conspiracies and you try to poke holes in it, don't poke holes in a person. Poke holes in the information. And the information is valid. Donald Trump cut the funding to the World Health Organization. In the video, Judy Mikovits exposed the World Health Organization and their ties to China. And like the information in the video, if you look at what's going on in the world, it correlates. And Donald Trump has a tweet saying CBS and their show 60 Minutes are doing everything within their power, which is far less today than it was in the past, to defend China and the horrible virus pandemic that was inflicted on the U.S. and the rest of the world. I guess they want to do business with China.
The WHO, that's the World Health Organization, receives vast amounts of money from the United States, and we pay for a majority, a biggest portion of their money. And they actually criticized and disagreed with my travel ban at the time I did it. And they were wrong. They've been wrong about a lot of things. And they had a lot of information early, and they didn't want to, they seem to be very China-centric. And we're going to put a hold on money spent to the WHO. We're going to put a very powerful hold on it, and we're going to see.
Now, for those of you who don't know, China is like our like active enemy right now. And there's people that work within the White House and work within all these industries, music industry, pharmaceutical industry, and they all got ties to China. You know what I mean? Everyone's in bed with China, but see, Trump isn't. And that's why they tried to impeach him, because if you have a president who isn't down with the China thing, then they can't smoothly get over. Another conspiracy that I want to talk about, and I know it's blasphemous to talk about this one, but 9/11, we're going to talk about 9/11 real quick, okay? And so there's people out there who think it was just a coincidence that, you know, 2 towers got hit and people died. But see, there's people like me who do a lot of research, and I don't know, 9/11, you can say it's a conspiracy, but for those of you who think there was no foul play involved with the government or George Bush, let me ask you this. In 1994, 1995, there was an Illuminati New World Order card game, okay? And in the card game, you had different cards with different things happening. One of them was the Twin Towers falling, and this was in 1995, okay? And then boom, not too many years later, the Twin Towers shut down. And also in the cards, you can see the quarantine and everything going on that were in these Illuminati card games. Like, I can literally go to Amazon right now and order these and have these at my house next week. Like, dead ass. Like, I'm gonna show you right here. So for all of you who want to shut down conspiracy theories and all that stuff, first of all, I don't like the name conspiracy theory, only because I feel like it now has a negative connotation to it, when we actually have facts and evidence. And like, in the world we live in, it's a digital world, so we can find damn near anything unless Google or YouTube censors it, which they have been doing with certain information. But you can damn near find out about anything, and we cannot listen to the mainstream media. Like, it's hard to get the truth. When you have people who lie to you, you have to get the truth another way. Like, guys out there or girls out there, if you have a spouse that lies to you and you want to find out the truth, you might have to go through their phone. And it's not the most ideal scenario, but in order to get the truth, you have to look elsewhere. You know what I mean? Because they won't tell you straight up. The news won't tell you straight up. CNN won't tell you straight up. You have to dig deeper and find the truth. So before you throw conspiracy theory on something, just do the research first, because you can't fathom what you don't understand. So if I were to tell you that they extract adrenochrome from the adrenochrome chemical from babies, you wouldn't even know. First of all, you don't know what that is. You wouldn't know how to even conceive that, because you never thought about it. So, but yeah, as far as like conspiracy theories and everything, the Judy Mikovits video, like I said, is censored to this day. Like, if it's on YouTube, it's getting taken down in 2 hours. Like, they are going out their way to make sure you do not see that video. And I'm just want to make it a point that I want you to go watch that video and then go look at what's going on in the world right now, and you tell me if it's conspiracy. And like I said, if 9/11 was a conspiracy, why is there an Illuminati card game that came out in 1995 that I can have ordered to my house right now, and one of the cards is the World Trade Towers getting knocked down? So you tell me if that's a conspiracy or not. But that's the first topic, conspiracy theories. If you have any, hit me up. You know what I mean? We can talk about them. You know what I mean? There's probably a whole bunch of them out there. But first, this is one of my favorite songs, so enjoy.
Thinking with your dick and not your brain gon' get you wet up. Had one of my hoes hit you up and now you set up. Me and my niggas a different breed, the kid don't wanna accept us. Woke up, wrote a 3-5 and that's what I ate for breakfast. The way we played with them bricks, you thought it was Tetris. I'm a sneaky nigga, hide 100 in the mattress.
Alright, well, welcome back. I just talked about conspiracy theories and people who try to poke holes in conspiracy theories and poke holes in people instead of the actual information and all that. But now we're going to talk about, since we've been in quarantine and everything, we're coming out. Some states slowly than others, but What is it, 2020? I want to talk to you guys about the 10 best movies this past decade. So like, I know a lot of you have been watching movies and TV shows, and I want you to trust my judgment on this one. You know what I mean? If every movie I'm about to give you is just crazy, you know what I mean, in their own way. And like, I don't know, a lot of people be on Facebook like, give me something good to watch, or you know what I mean? I'm about to give you 10 movies that if you haven't seen, you must see. And from this past decade, so from 2010 to 2020, I had to leave a lot out. There's a lot of classic, great movies, but I had to narrow it down to 10. So let's get started. Number 10, Captain America: Civil War. Okay, that movie came out in 2016, and it's pretty much about Cap and Iron Man. They fell out, and a lot happened, and that's definitely like one of the most, you know what I mean, intense movies I can remember. Number 9, and this is an animated movie, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. This just came out like last week, and it's a DC animated universe that they do, you know what I mean, but they put out really good movies, and the movies are rated R, so, and I was not ready for that. That movie caught me off guard. I didn't know they were going to take it that far, especially for a DC movie. So if you like animated movies, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, check it out. It's a must watch. Number 8, Red Dawn. This is a remake of the original Red Dawn, but this one is way more action packed, and it's way more just gritty and darker. And it's pretty much about a group of teens who have to defend themselves when war breaks out. So imagine you and your friends just playing a game, playing football, just living regular life, and people invade the country with guns, and now you have to go in your basement, get guns, and defend yourself. It's literally like that. That's what Red Dawn is. So Red Dawn, definitely check out. Number 7, Project X. The best party movie of all time, and it doesn't even come close. Like, if you hear someone say, yeah, throw a Project X party, yeah, you better throw the biggest party of all time. Like, every time I go to a party, Project X is like my measuring stick for how good it is. So if it was top notch, crazy, ridiculous, buck wild, it's a Project X party. Okay. And if you one of them dudes or fraternity dudes who charge $20 to get in your party, it better be a Project X party. Number 6, White House Down, with Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum. Great movie about the president under attack, and this dude interviewed for a job to be like his Secret Service or his security, and at first it was like nah, then the shit went down at the White House and he had to protect the president anyway, and it was a crazy movie, White House Down. Number 5, Man of Steel. This came out in 2013. It's a remake of the Superman movies, but this is obviously a Superman movie, but in modern day, because the older ones were really cheesy and corny, and the graphics weren't real good, and it's just very hard to do a superhero like Superman back in the day, you know what I mean? But Man of Steel is probably one of the best movies, like especially best DC movies, period. It's not even a discussion. Man of Steel. Focus, number 4. This is with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, who played Harley Quinn, but it's more of a romance movie. It caught me off guard. I watched it on a humbug, and that's one of the movies I can pop in any night and just watch it. This was one of the, like I say, I'm not going to give any spoilers away for these movies because I want you guys to go watch them, but Focus. Number 3, Chronicle, with Dane DeHaan and Michael B. Jordan. I promise you, you need to see Chronicle. It's literally one of the best movies, period. Chronicle is a classic. It's about 3 teenagers. They were at a party and they somehow got like superpowers, and you know what I mean? But it's like realistic. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in the rest of the movies, someone gets superpowers. Oh, they're the good guy. In Chronicle, some took the good road, some took the bad road, and you need to see who did what and how that went down. Chronicle is crazy. Number 2, The Joker. Now, this is, I don't want to consider it like, even though it is a comic book movie, it's not in the same category as like the other comic book genre movies. This one stands out on its own. It's more of a society perspective movie. It's real dark, it's real gritty, and it really has a lot of undertones and lessons in it. Whether you agree with them or not, it's a deep think. So Joker, in number one, the best movie in the last 10 years. Drum roll, please. Avengers Infinity War. Now, a lot of you might think like, whoa, what about Endgame? Endgame was wrapping the story up, okay? We kind of knew, you know what I mean, Endgame was gonna go certain areas and do certain things, but Infinity War, I didn't know nothing. I went into that movie blind, and pound for pound, scene for scene, just shook me to my core. Like one of the most intense movies, whether you like that genre or not. Avengers Infinity War was the best movie in the last 10 years, I believe. Like and it's not even close as far as the scale of the movie. And if for those of you who say Endgame, I don't want to argue, you know what I mean? Like, I get why you would say Endgame, but pound for pound, scene for scene, like the unpredictability factor, Infinity War will always stand out. Like, there's a certain scene that I'm not going to talk about because I want you to see it, that just had my jaw on the floor. So I kid you not, Avengers Infinity War. So in recap, top 10 movies: Civil War, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, Red Dawn, Project X, White House Down, Man of Steel, Focus, Chronicle, Joker, Avengers Infinity War. If you have not seen those 10 movies, go watch those 10 movies. It's just no questions asked. Like, you need to go see those 10 movies. So quarantine's almost over, but some of you are still under lockdown. I don't know how it is in Cali and LA, but some states are moving faster than others. And if you still want some good movies to watch from the past decade, because like, I get that there's a lot of classic movies from like the 90s, but the graphics were like terrible, so it's kind of hard to watch. You know what I mean? Like, when you see how technology has advanced and the different things with the digital effects that they can do with the movies, a lot of those movies from the 90s and 80s and before then are very like unwatchable, especially the ones that, you know what I mean, require those effects now. Movies like Boys in the Hood and Friday are forever classics, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, if you want some good quality movies, you know what I mean, though, from the last 10 years, go tap into those. So here's another song that I fuck with. We're about to go on a break real quick, and next I'm gonna talk to the fellas real quick. So here's one of my favorite songs.
Working overnight, welcome to the rodeo. This the place where you can go if you ever feeling low. If you need a high, let me know and we can smoke. Take this plane and we can float. Just celebrate me when I'm gone. Working overnight.
All right, welcome back. I'm about to just get straight into it. I don't like, beating around the bush and all that. We're gonna get straight into it. So I'm gonna talk to the fellas real quick, okay? We're gonna talk about the right formula to get a girlfriend or chase girls, and like the things that you need to do before you do that, okay? Because a lot of these guys got the game messed up. And like I said, the purpose of this podcast is to spread information, have productive and fun conversation, and I also want you guys to learn something. I don't care that I'm 21 and you can still learn something from me. That goes back to earlier what I was saying. Forget who's telling you. Just look at the information provided. If I look outside and tell you the sky is blue, just because it came from me doesn't mean it's false. You know what I mean? The information I gave you was true. So, but we're going to talk about why it's important to establish yourself and become a, like, quote unquote, a high value man before you start chasing women. Because, like, I see it a lot. This is facts, okay? Women usually go after the higher value man, okay? So that's why, like, it's, even if it's a joke, it's real when you, like, your girlfriend would leave you for a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why is because he's the higher value man. So that's where that concept comes from. So, not saying the richest, not saying, you know what I mean? Like, high value doesn't always mean money, but what it means is you're having an establishment. You know what I mean? So, whatever your goal is, whatever your purpose is as a man, is very important for you to chase that, especially while you're single, okay? Because what happens is a lot of these young dudes my age end up having kids, and whatever their purpose was has to be put on a back burner because they have other responsibilities. So as single, young dudes, it's important for you to find out what you want to do, what you like to do, what's going to make you money, what's going to give you your foundation. And it's important that you chase that and you establish a world, because you can't bring no girl into no, you need to have a world to bring a girl into, So just like I said, it's not a money thing, It's just like there's guys who don't have no motivation to do anything. That's just knuckleheads, no car, no job, and but they chasing women. That's not how it works. You're supposed to establish yourself first, build your brand first, and then add her on to it. Okay? And this is real life a gym. Like, especially as young dudes, we don't have shit together. We don't have ourselves established. And everyone has to do what their situation requires. So, but as single dudes, young dudes who don't have no real responsibilities, like when it comes to women and children, it's important that you build yourself mentally, financially, emotionally, like in all aspects. It's important that you build yourself, because when you do add a woman to it, she's going to look at you as high value, which is going to just naturally make her more attracted to you. No girl wants a bum that doesn't do anything. So I feel like my purpose is to get a message out and to, get a platform for people to share their opinion, especially at this age group, because there's podcasts from the OGs. You go on YouTube, there's hella podcasts, but there's none for the young guys. Charlemagne the God is 50, so like we need someone at our age group, our generation, to start this shit. And I feel like that's my purpose, so I'm going to chase that purpose. Like sometimes you have to be disciplined. And I think like you can do whatever you want. I'm giving you the blueprint to be better equipped when you're dealing with women, because when a woman comes into your life and you got your shit together, she can't tell you nothing. You call the shots, all that. Like it's important for you to just establish yourself. That's so important, and get all your stuff together. And like I said, bring someone to add to it. A lot of these guys just don't get it, don't got nothing going for themselves, and they just chase women and they end up stuck with a kid or whatever, and they can't chase their dream no more. They can't, get on their purpose as hard as they would want to, because they have that responsibility. So, this is just a gem for the young guys out there to just keep chasing your purpose, whether you're a boxer, a football player, a rapper, a podcaster, you work jobs, construct, whatever. I don't care, whatever your purpose is, get on it, try to be the best you can, make sure you establish yourself, and like I said, you build a foundation that you can add her on to, because at the end of the day, if we don't have that and we get a female, she's going to leave you for the higher value man when she gets the chance. Not all females are the same, I'm not going to say that, but female nature is pretty common. So you're doing yourself a favor by becoming a higher value man. By when you're single, stop pissing the day away, get productive, do something, work out, build your foundation right now, because it's not no joke when you have a girlfriend and you don't got your shit together and you can't provide the way you want to provide. And now you have to look at yourself as a man like, damn. So that's why it's important to get y'all shit together and establish ourselves. And that's the gem of the day. This is Blunt Thoughts, the podcast. Thank you for coming out and listening. I'll be here next week. Weekly episodes, give me topics. Continue to like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you guys. We're going to keep going with this thing. And like I said, fellas, get on your purpose and everything else is going to fall in line. I promise you. And until next time, see ya.